Have you ever looked at something you made the other day and thought, this looks really, really interesting and I like it, but how the heck shall I go on now and what the heck shall I do next? Welcome to my club. This is Luise Heinzl, and I'm really happy that you are either again here or still here, or perhaps you are new here. Thanks for joining me today with this project. What is this? These are my signatures for my Poppyfield Avenue junk journal. That's the journal I'm currently working on with my new paper collection, which is also obviously called Poppyfield Avenue. A really challenging paper collection, I would say, because I want to try some new things I haven't done before, and that you already probably know when you know me already, that I like to challenge myself a little bit with each and every new journal I make. But there's also something special about this journal, which is pretty new for me regarding the process and the steps I do. In the last video, we did these things here. If you have missed that, then please check out the description box. There's a playlist with all of the videos about this paper collection and this journal, which is coming together here at the moment. And in the playlist, you will also find my Poppyfield Avenue paper premiere, where I have already shown you a bound journal made with this paper collection. So that means in the paper premiere you can see these signatures in a cover and also more decoration and so on, like a little nearly finished journal, let's call it like that. So if you have already seen the paper premiere, or if you want to pause this video and watch the paper premiere first, then you know more than I do, or you will then know more than I do at this point, because this is like a little time travel. I record my videos in a different order than you will see them, because I wanted you to see the bound journal first, and then we are going to the some chosen steps of my process. I have chosen some things for recording where I thought that could be interesting and where you can follow along, and if you want, make your own journal with the Poppyfield Avenue paper collection, or obviously also with any other digital paper collection or without digital paper, because for these ideas digital paper is not necessarily important. So I'm here and I'm still pretty proud of this. This looks so cool. I really like this. If you want to know how this effect came to life, then watch the last video where we made this. And I'm really hoping, if you have watched the other video and you perhaps have tried this out, that you already also have some cool things and perhaps some things you have explored during your process which you haven't known before, because this is something I have never done before and it came with my process. So today I want to go on, and as I said, this is like a little time travel. So we are going to do the next step. And this feels always so weird, because you already know, when you have seen the journal, how it looks, and I have no idea what this will become, but that is also of course really much fun for me to do. So yesterday, sorry, because I recorded that video yesterday. For you, it's already, a few days back in the last video. That is what I want to say. I did this, and I was hoping, that was my plan, that I get a really concrete edge here, from, for example, this page here. So when I smashed my paint and the other mediums on here, I was hoping that this edge of the page would give me an empty space here and a clearly visible edge here. But that didn't happen. On most of the pages, that didn't happen. Here, where I used acrylic paint, it worked. So what I was hoping for on all of the pages is something like this, because this here I wanted then to use for the next step. But since I didn't get that here, I want to fix that and find solutions how we could get that effect, so that we then have what is in my mind and that we then can go on with the next steps. Okay, So that is what we are going to do in this video. I thought I record that because this could happen to you as well. And perhaps you want to know how I solved this, yeah, I don't want to call it problem, how I handled this situation, let's call it like that, and the different possibilities which are in my mind, how we could solve this, yeah? So let's do that. Let's perhaps start with this, which we had already here in front of us. So I thought one possibility would be to use some paint, because paint is not so liquid. Because what happened here is that the more liquid mediums, like my rust water, the oxide sprays, and also the coffee, went under the other page because they are pretty liquid, and I used this thing here on most of the pages, and I'm assuming while this was laying here and I was blowing it, I have blown it under the page. I think that was my own fault. Perhaps I should have blown like this, but I'm assuming that would have happened anyway. So that was because the mediums were so liquid. So I thought, what if we take paint, but do I really want to have black here? Yeah, let's use black. So this is just some really cheap black acrylic paint. I will not mix this with water or so, but I will use it as it is, so it's pretty, you know, not liquid. So let's try to press this down. And just make a little mark like this. Ooh. I want this pretty straight. Now we have this here. It's a little bit on here, that is perfect. Could be a little thinner, I would say, but we have this straight line that looks almost like what I had in my head when I started this. And I find that this black fits really well to this graffiti theme, which is a part of the design of the paper collection. Why the heck is it showing an S there now? It wants to talk to me. Look, there's an S somehow. I don't like that. Let's make that more black. Okay, now it's gone. Yeah, and now we have that there. Okay, that is already pretty good. Let's perhaps do another one here. So I do nothing else than pressing the page down, and then I just go over this. Here on the acrylic paint, the other acrylic paint is not so opaque. Is that important? Yeah, let it dry in between. It also came through a little bit, but okay. At least we have an orientation, and that is what I need for the next step. Please excuse when this doesn't make sense at the moment. Yeah, it's so hard for me because this is like my real process, and perhaps you think, hey, well, what the heck, we have some black things here now. Please trust me, okay? I have a plan. I know it's hard to trust someone who said to you in the last video that you have to sit in a box for making this. I know it's really hard, but please just trust me, okay? So let's do that here as well, so that we then have two signatures where we have made this, so that we also can get with these already a little bit like cohesiveness or so. This acrylic paint wrecks my nerves because it's not completely black, but okay. Let's do that here as well. And here, so that we have that on, you know, on the other pages also, not only on the first one and the second one, but also on the others, like so. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm hoping that this will not stick together, but I think that should not happen because it's not so much paint. Okay, so that is one idea I had, how we could solve that problem. But I also thought in this paper collection there are some pages, like this here for example, where I think that black is a little bit too harsh. Imagine this was, for example, here or so. Can you see that? It's, I mean, it would work, but well, black is perhaps also not the problem, the color itself, but if we would make such a big line, that would probably be like my problem, which I wouldn't like that so much. So let's try something else, because I thought we could also try to stamp either with a permanent ink or, like for example, distress ink or distress oxide ink, which is not permanent. But if you want to follow along and also do the upcoming steps in my upcoming videos, use a permanent ink now. So I have chosen a short list of stamp sets because on the one hand I want to show you different options, and on the other hand I found a lot of stamps which could work for this theme of the Poppyfield Avenue paper collection. So the first stamp I found is this one here. This says Paris. That is not so good, but it has this. Oh no, it says Paris here as well. I haven't seen that. I thought I could use this without the Paris. Do you know what? I want to use this stamp. French Marketplace CMS 071. Let's use it and let's just see how it looks. I mean, the Poppyfield Avenue could also be in Paris, even if my inspiration, or the city of inspiration for this paper collection was London, but we will do this. It's my journal. I can do what I want. And perhaps she, so I mean the woman of the story behind this paper collection, was also in Paris, and she found a Poppyfield Avenue there as well. I mean, perhaps she also was on holiday or so and has sent a letter from there. I mean, it was worth it. Look how cool that looks. And then we have this line there. Can you see that? Now I can ignore this completely for my next step, and I have this line here, and that is exactly what I want to have. And stamp that here. Holy moly, guacamole. Oh, who cares that it says Paris? Here's our line. Okay. This doesn't need to dry, so we can turn this around. Another stamp set I have taken out is the Field Notes stamp set, CMS 396, also by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And I thought, even if this is Field Notes, this totally reminds to a postage stamp, somehow. Bam, this line. Okay. Perhaps you think, I'm pretty sure the most of you will now think, what the heck is she doing? And I totally understand that. Let's stamp this over more than 2 pages, like so. Etc. CMS 302. I didn't use an acrylic block on purpose so that this doesn't get too concrete, so that I don't feel the need to read what it's written here when I look to the page. Oh, look! Oh my goodness, look how cool that looks with this edge here of the envelope. Next one. I think here I want to stamp in black. And to be honest, I already can see that I like the idea with the stamping way better than the thing with the black acrylic paint, but that is obviously also part of the process. And I think we should just accept that. I want to do it like this. Put that here. Oh no, it's a little bit wonky. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, this is pretty wet. I let this dry for a second. This box, oh my goodness, my boxy, oh, I can clamp it here to the side. My box is in the way. If you haven't seen the other video, I'm sitting in a shipping box here. Because for the splattering on the other pages I needed a protection, and now I can't reach the rest of my desk and my shelf over there where I normally put those things which I need to let dry. But I just took such a clamp and clamped the signature here to my box. Can you see it there? It's hanging there now. That is good. So what do we have here? What I also thought is, if you perhaps have a page where you have something which is, why am I so far away? I'm so sorry. If you have perhaps a page where you have a lot of white and you think, oh, I want to have more color, yeah, because we've tried out different mediums in the other video, so that automatically brings different pages and different colors to the pages. Yeah, that's normal. But what if you think all of my other pages are colorful and only this is here, or this signature has so much white, and perhaps you have also covered a lot of the image. Look here, the poppy flower is here like nearly completely behind this fog, and that brings the color to the background. What if you want to bring the color back to the foreground? I need my swatch box because I have problems to decide which color could work here. If you want to know more about this box here, you can find a playlist on my channel which is called, how is the playlist called? Swatch, I think, just Swatch. And in that playlist you can find how I made this box where I swatched all of my Ranger mediums. So let's take out Tattered Rose, Abandoned Coral and Firebrick. And do you know what? I don't have enough of these finger sponges for all of my colors, and perhaps you also don't have that. What to do then? I think there's an easy solution how we can quickly apply this without stressing ourselves. We are going to take Tattered Rose first, without a sponge. That looks even better than with a sponge. It can't go under here because this is just, you know, not liquid enough that it could go under there. It's fast, you don't need to clean your sponge, and it looks even cooler. Because what I thought was, and that is obviously something you could also do, I would have taken this and then, you know, go over it like so. This is Saltwater Toffee, perhaps. It's not enough in there anymore, but wait. We could try something. Let's first go on with the other plan. I will dry this, and I want to make sure that this is really completely dry before I go on with the next color. That is so urban sketch-ish, and somehow graffiti-ish. I'm really, really in love with this. Let's dry this as well. This is probably a little bit, yeah, very intense, isn't it? But, oh, yeah. These are the moments where somehow all my work from the past years and all this somehow, sometimes, to be honest, a little bit pain, yeah, it's worth everything. Because look, please take a look at this. Can we please take a moment for looking at this? Here it's still wet, and here it's pretty intensely red, and it's not this color here, but here when it's dry it's turning into this, and I thought that it would do that. And in the camera, why the heck does this look so different in the camera like this? In reality, I mean, this is different, but this and this with my eyes looks like the same color. What the heck? That is weird. Okay, let's I don't like that. I mean, I want that you can see that as well. I mean, what is that? Here it's now also a color which is in here. Why have I spent so much time of my life to get friends with these colors and to get knowledge about these colors when it now in my camera is not the same color? Don't freak out. We take fired brick and I go over here now where Tattered Rose and Abandoned Coral are meeting. I will quit my job. Here it looks, my eyes see this, and it's like this is wet and this is dry, but it's the same color. I can't understand that. Why my camera can't catch that. I'm so sorry. Junk journaling is much fun. Let's try to let this oxidize. Would it be a problem if the colors don't fit perfectly? No. Perhaps not. Is it a problem for me? Definitely yes. I have this Love Notes CMS 477, and I think this is perfect because something tells me I'm going to love you forever. That is definitely something which could be written in one of the letters which were sent from Poppyfield Avenue. And even if this later on will perhaps disappear because we are going to put something over it, I know now that I have used this and this quote which matches really well, and that is what matters to me, because even if I can't see it anymore, I know that it matches now. Or if it perhaps gets not so concrete because you have different layers here, and perhaps your stamping doesn't get so concrete, yeah, then you still know that you have used this. And even, you know, if you see single words of this later, then you also have a nice thing, because it then still fits, if that makes sense. So perhaps we take something from here, letter script CMS 241. Okay. I totally forgot to show you what I wanted to do with this. I'm so sorry. Let's try it out on the other page. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot that. This is really hard for me to do, to be honest, because this is the flow I am in at the moment, and that makes that my brain can handle only approximately 1.5 thoughts at a time, and the danger that I distract myself is pretty high. But I think we can do this here, but not with saltwater coffee, but with another color. Because what I thought was, what we also could do is we could take a sponge. Wait, first we need to decide for the color. Let's go with some brushed corduroy. I think that would fit perfectly here. And I thought if we now load this brush up so that it's like pretty much in it. Let me quickly test that here on my paper. Let's take a little bit more so that it's really juicy. And then we could press this down. And do this. And we have this, we have this line as well. This looks like a peanut now. I have a peanut in my journal, oh no. Only 2 eyes are missing here, and then we have the perfect peanut cartoon. What the heck, why are here peanuts? This cracks me up. Oh my goodness, I can't handle this. What the heck? I don't want to have peanuts in my journal. Oh no, what? I think I can't oversee it now anymore. I need I need to do something against this. This is absolutely unacceptable. I mean, this and this is okay, but this, I mean... Yeah. We will not give up on this plan. Let me see. I want a stamp. Give me a stamp. Something which is... I have something in mind, but I don't have that on the desk here. This says Sign Painter CMS 484. We used to meet at 9 p.m. down by the stationery nook. Concentration, Luise. Concentration. Get rid of this peanut, please. Somehow very cool, but it... do I like that it covers the bus up so much? At least it covers the peanut up. Let's do that. Somehow I have a feeling that with this journal I will lose my mind completely. Concentration. Oh. I can't work when things like this happen. I'm so sorry. I think I need to take a break. It doesn't get better. I've installed a fan here in my room to make this room a little cooler, but that doesn't help when I have to laugh so much that I sweat even more, like without laughing. Oh. I would love to have dots here somehow. Peanut dots. I definitely need a break now. Okay, so see you in a second. Okay, I need to take a break. I have water on my face from crying. I think I should take a cool shower before we go on with this. I'm back. I'm really hoping that I will have this under control now. The peanut is still there, isn't it? Let's just stamp a little bit of script with ground espresso. And then I think I want to leave this like it is now. I really don't know what I shall think about this, but it at least did what I wanted to have, and that's these little lines here. So if you want to craft along and if you want to follow these steps here, then your homework would be, please excuse when I say that like that, I'm just kidding, okay? I don't want to sound like your teacher or so, but if you want to do your homework, then please make sure that you have at least in some spots these lines. If they are a little bit crooked like here, that I think doesn't matter, we can handle that, but I think it is easier when you have a straight line. Yeah, this is probably not such a good example, but here, for example, can you see that here is from this ink blob here this line, and here there's this line, so that this gives us already like a little angle, and that is what I want to have for the next step. I'm not so sure what we are going to do with this. I mean, what we could do is we could stamp over this with white. I mean, embossing ink and then embossing the stamping in white. That could be a thing. But since it's already pretty hot in this room, let's see. So this is a Posca pen. Let's try to do some faux handwriting over this, so that the black is covered by some scribbling. Not covered, but like this. And the good thing is, this pen can also not run under here, and it adds to this straight look on the next page. That's it for today. That's it for today. In the next video, you will then find out why I did this and how we will go on. I think that is then a really, really exciting step, what we will do then. And I can't wait to do that together with you. Have fun with this and see you the next time. Bye.